How's it going, everyone? This is the Jose Show, and I hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday, and I hope everyone's having a phenomenal hump day. It is the middle of the week, and that means that, of course, we have a lot of hot tea to talk about, so now let's get started. Now, let's start off with Elon Musk. So, as we all know, Elon Musk is in talks into purchasing Twitter. Well, apparently, the purchase is on hold. The billionaire Tesla Incorporated chief executive recently tweeted that the deal is on hold until he gets more information about the portion of the social media platform's users that are spam accounts. Twitter has for years said in filings that it estimates they represent less than 5% of its daily active users, though has cautioned the number could be higher. Now, this is all happening as technology shares, including those of Tesla, which Mr. Musk is relying on to fund the deal, have been under pressure. Twitter's board, meanwhile, says it intends to enforce the agreement, which calls for him to pay $54.20 a share. Now, here's what's to know about how things could play out. Now, can either side walk away at any time? Hmm. Well, not easily. Both sides signed a merger agreement, a detailed document stipulating exactly what each will do to ensure the agreed upon deal closes and what legal rights each has if the other doesn't hold up its end of the bargain. It is similar to going under contract on a house. Now, in this case, Mr. Musk was motivated to quickly negotiate a deal and in doing so agreed to a contract with several seller-friendly components. For example, he waived the detailed due diligence that buyers typically perform on targets. Think of it like skipping a home inspection. And gave Twitter the right to sue him to follow through with the deal, a legal clause known as specific performance. Okay, now, both sides also agreed to pay each other a $1 billion breakup fee if they cause the deal not to happen for certain reasons. But specific scenarios must unfold for those to become relevant, also called termination fees. The penalties are meant to deter parties from breaking agreements and address the inconvenience and cost of a failed deal. Now, can Mr. Musk just pay Twitter the $1 billion breakup fee to get out of the deal? Not necessarily. There are three clear scenarios in which this could happen, and possibly more. If regulators try to block the deal or the debt financing falls through, he would likely have it now. The third is if he can show Twitter has significantly changed for the worse since the deal was agreed upon under a concept known as a material adverse effect. Now, if Mr. Musk believes Twitter's accounting of spam accounts was inaccurate, when he signed the deal, his lawyers could attempt to litigate that issue in various ways, including as a material adverse effect, or possibly by alleging that Twitter is misrepresented and information in its filings. It is unclear whether they would succeed, though it could open the door to settlement discussions. All right. So, this is a pretty interesting topic here. I think that if Elon Musk does not make it into Twitter, then I think that'll be a big one for a lot of people, including for me, because I personally do not want Elon Musk to be purchasing Twitter at all. Because if he ends up purchasing Twitter, then unfortunately, Donald Trump is going to be back on Twitter and he's going to make our lives miserable, first and foremost. Now, another reason why I don't want Elon Musk to return to Twitter is because if he returns to Twitter, then I can imagine that it's going to turn into a whole entire MAGA situation when it comes to him being on Twitter, because not only because of Trump being back on Twitter, but also because of the fact that a lot of MAGA supporters, a lot of evil people out there are gonna have the freedom to go off and say a bunch of evil things about a lot of people out there on Twitter, because unfortunately Elon Musk will give them the freedom of speech or the right of freedom of speech for them to say whatever the heck they want, regardless if it's going to be harming anyone. So that is the last thing that we want, especially for Twitter. And if that ever ends up happening, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I am quitting Twitter, because I do not want to be in a social media where I feel unsafe and I feel like I am going to be harassed, especially by a bunch of crazy people, especially by a bunch of MAGA supporters. So that is what I think here. And also, if Elon Musk ends up buying Twitter, what's going to end up happening is that a lot of people are definitely going to do what I am planning on doing if he plans on buying Twitter. They are also going to leave, and then it's going to be a huge loss for Twitter. And then Twitter is definitely going to want to basically part ways with Elon Musk. That I think is what's going to end up happening. And then what's going to end up also happening is that Twitter is going to lose popularity, and then a lot of people are just going to merge more into Instagram, and they're going to merge more into Facebook. I can already imagine that happening. So, anywho, I really hope that Elon Musk does not end up purchasing Twitter at all. So, I feel like in this time and age, we do deserve and we should have a freedom of speech. I completely agree. But the freedom of speech, in my personal opinion, should be the type of freedom of speech where we are not harassing other people, where we are not going after people, where we are not endangering other people, especially. Because like I said, I mean, the more we do that, the more unsafe we're going to feel, especially in an environment like Twitter. So, yeah, that's my opinion. And also, I feel like a freedom of speech is, first of all, give your honest opinion on certain things. Second of all, um, be wise and intelligent on the things that you are saying when you are saying this freedom of speech. Like, for example, say, you know what, I feel like so and so is not really good at this because so and so needs more skills in this. Or, you know what, so and so is not doing a good job in this certain field because so and so needs more experience in this. I feel like it should be more about that in that situation. I mean, the criticism is perfectly fine, but the harassment and the horrible, horrible bullying is not okay at all, in any means. So that is what I personally think here. And Elon Musk, you could go somewhere else if you really want to find a freedom of speech, because I don't even think Twitter is going to be for you at all. All right, so now from Elon Musk to now more hot tea. So now let's talk about let's talk about there are a lot of hot tea today, you guys. So, anywho, let's talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Okay, I know I've been talking about this for many, many episodes now, and I think y'all are sick and tired of me talking about this. Okay, so now Johnny Depp and attorney Camille Vasquez romance rumors, unequivocally untrue, source says. All right, so apparently, social media can't stop swooning over the possibility that Johnny Depp is dating his sharp-tongued attorney Camille Vasquez, but ET has learned it's all a figment of the internet's imagination. All right, so a source close to the defamation trial tells ET that rumors that the Pirates of the Caribbean star is dating Vasquez are entirely 100% unequivocally untrue. Now, Vasquez, an associate at the Southern California-based firm Brown Rudnick, entered the bright spotlight on Monday when she began cross-examining Amber Heard, and it produced some of the most intense moments since the trial kicked off 6 weeks ago. So, among other things, Vasquez accused Heard of making up the sexual assault allegations. The attorney also, in point-blank fashion, asked Heard if it was Depp who got her the role in Aquaman, and the question prompted a perplexed Heard to respond with, "Excuse me?" before clapping back, "No, Miss Vasquez, I got myself that role by auditioning. That's how that works." Inquo. So then Vasquez, who was also behind the countless objections while Heard was under direct examination, has gained a cult-like following since cross-examining Heard. One fan tweeted, "Does the courthouse have a coroner on site? Because they're gonna need one when our queen Camille Vasquez is done with Amber Heard, and her career praise will be the queen." End quote. And then another Depp fan posted a video on TikTok showing Depp looking at Vasquez and smiling as she talked, with the way he looks at her, text appearing on the video. Okay, so these people are just too much with all of these stuff on social media. Okay, so another reason for growing speculation that the high-powered attorney is dating the embattled 58-year-old actor. When Heard was dismissed from the witness stand on Tuesday, court video showed Vasquez giving her colleague a brief hug before she moved a chair out of the way to embrace Depp hugging him twice, patting his chest twice and holding his hand. Depp, sporting a huge grin, rubbed her back and kept his eyes on her as she walked away. Now, paparazzi got Vasquez leaving the courthouse on Tuesday, and a photographer asked her if she's dating Depp. Vasquez, who focuses on plaintiffs, said defamation suits didn't provide an answer and instead smiled, chuckled, and embraced fans. Okay, so this is pretty hilarious here to make assumptions like this that now Vasquez is dating Depp, all because Vasquez is backing up Depp in this whole entire situation here. I personally think that, okay, first of all, guys can be friends with girls. Second of all, just because you see someone backing up another person, especially when it comes to a legal battle, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're dating each other, okay? That just means that they are working together because they are fighting for something, and that right there is called justice. Now, also, what I personally think here is I feel like the fact that a lot of people are making up stories like this is also just coming to show that how ignorant people are. Not only because people can't really get into details of things, but also because of the fact that in life, when you are bumping into people, especially people that are definitely supporting you, especially legally, of course that certain person is going to hug you, or of course you're going to hug that certain person, and of course you're going to smile at that person and see that person as a close friend because they are doing you a huge favor, especially because they are saving your career. Why can't these people see it like that? Come on now. And plus, when you are in that situation, especially when you are definitely being judged, hated by so many people, especially by a lot of these Amber Heard fans, like they are towards Johnny Depp. I mean, the first thing you need in life is a hug and love and all that, you know? So it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine to see another person get along with another person in situations like this, especially. So people really need to stop being so ignorant, you know? And also, Amber Heard seems to be a liar in this whole entire situation because now it seems like she is getting exposed for lying in certain things that now I don't want to get into detail because I already went into some details yesterday and many other episodes. So, anywho, good luck to Johnny Depp on this whole entire legal situation with Amber Heard, and we are going to be staying tuned for more. Alright, so now from Johnny Depp and Amber Heard to now more hot tea. Alright, so now let's talk about Jennifer Lopez. So Jennifer Lopez's halftime show stars battle with fame ahead of epic Super Bowl performance. All right, so Jennifer Lopez is giving fans an inside look at her life and career ahead of one of the biggest live performances in history. Now today, Netflix shared the first trailer of Halftime Jennifer Lopez, an upcoming documentary that follows the superstar as she reflects on personal and professional milestones and figures out how to navigate the next steps of her career, all while she prepares to perform at the 2020 Super Bowl halftime show. Now, my whole life, I've been battling to be heard, to be seen, to be taken seriously, Lopez says in the trailer, as she's seen coping with her Hustlers Oscar snub and the grueling planning and rehearsals for her halftime show with Shakira. Now, I'm trying to give you something with substance, she demands in one clip. Not just us out there shaking out effing a words. I want something real. Now, the trailer also shows how the media has portrayed Lopez throughout the years, from awkward interview questions about her infamous butt to accusations that she's a serial bride amid her multiple engagements, while there is no mention of Lopez's most recent ex, Alex Rodriguez, to whom she was engaged at the time. Her current fiancé, Ben Affleck, did sit down for the doc, marveling in one clip about the way Lopez handles the demands of her career. Alright, so this is what was being said. I said to her once, "Doesn't this bother you?" And she said, "I expected this," he remarks. All right. So this is pretty interesting here how, and this is actually pretty amazing too, that Jennifer Lopez is having her own documentary, especially about the halftime show on Netflix. I mean, who wouldn't want to miss this? especially because Jennifer Lopez is a queen, she's an icon, she is a legend, especially because she got to share the stage with the one and only Shakira, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we cannot forget that night when Jennifer Lopez and Shakira were sharing the stage together and they were making history for being the first female Latinas on stage, especially to be performing in a major event like the Super Bowl. I mean, I completely remember when the both of them were already in their outfits and they were impressing a lot of millions and millions of people. And I remember how they were planning out the performances, and especially the fact that Jennifer Lopez got to bring her daughter into the stage. I definitely cannot forget that. And also the fact that they also got to bring J Balvin and they got to bring Bad Bunny into the stage. I mean, that was also pretty cool. But anywho, J Lo, she definitely deserved to perform in the halftime show, especially with Shakira, not only because of her being an icon, a legend, and everything, but also because she worked so hard for over 2 decades, ladies and gentlemen. She has done so many movies, she has released so many albums. She has even done so many interviews, red carpet appearances. She has done it all, you know? And also, she is a phenomenal dancer. I mean, let's not forget that. So it is about time that they would bring her on that stage. And also, the fact that she is now with Ben Affleck, I mean, I think that's pretty amazing just to see that the both of them are together once again and now they are engaged. I mean, I really hope they get married soon because I mean, things did not work out with her and A-Rod. So I really hope things do end up working out for her and Ben Affleck now that they're together again. And I also think that the both of them make a really cute couple, by the way, because I mean, I see that the both of them support each other, love each other, and they are all smiles together. So, anywho, Halftime Jennifer Lopez is directed by Amanda Mitchell, and it will kick off the 2022 Tribeca Festival on Wednesday, June 8th, debuting at the United Palace in Washington Heights, Manhattan, before being made widely available to Netflix viewers on Tuesday, June 14th. Alright, so please do not miss it, especially to all you J-Lo fans out there. It's going to be amazing. Alright, so now from J-Lo to now more hot tea. Alright, so now let's talk about Taylor Swift, shall we? Well, Taylor Swift gives commencement speech at NYU, shares advice on not holding grudges. Alright, so graduation, Taylor's version. Taylor Swift took the stage to deliver the commencement address during the New York University graduation ceremony on today, Wednesday, after receiving an honorary doctorate's degree. So the 32-year-old singer stood on stage at New York's Yankee Stadium and spoke to the graduating classes of 2020, 2021, and 2022. It marked the school's first in-person ceremony since the pandemic began. Swift began her speech by thanking the other honorees who are improving the world with their work, while noting that she simply earned her spot because of her music. Now, this is what Taylor got to say. As for me, I'm 90% sure the main reason I'm here is because I have a song called 22. And let me just say, I am elated to be here with you today as we celebrate and graduate New York University's class of 2022. Now, Swift wasn't afraid to poke fun at herself. I'd like to thank NYU for making me technically, on paper at least, a doctor. She quipped, not the type of doctor you would want around in the case of an emergency, unless your specific emergency was that you desperately needed to hear a song with a catchy hook and an intensely cathartic bridge section. Or if your emergency was that you needed a person who can name over 50 breeds of cats in 1 minute. End quote. So the Grammy-winning musician spoke about not attending college, though it was always her dream to do so, noting that she finished attending regular high school in 10th grade and completed her education through home school while her career took off. However, she was able to make the dream a reality by creating the experience she wanted in her memorable music video for Love Story. Now, she got to also say this. As a kid, I always thought I would go away to college, imagining the posters that hang on the wall of my freshman dorm, and I even set the ending of my music video for my song Love Story at my fantasy imaginary college where I meet a male model reading a book on the grass, and with one single glance we realized we had been in love in our past lives, which is exactly what you guys all experienced at some point in the last 4 years, right? All right, so Swift went on to offer the graduates life hacks, which included learning when to let things go. All right, and then she got to say that life can be heavy, especially if you try to carry it all at once. And that part of growing up and growing into new chapters of your life is about catch and release. And that what she means is by that is knowing what things to keep and what things to release. You can't carry all things, all grudges, all updates on your ex, on viable promotions your school bully got at the hedge fund his uncle started. End quote. Now, Swift also stressed that she never wanted to hold back her enthusiasm for things and that experiencing embarrassing moments in life are inevitable. All right. So, anywho, the story goes on and on and on, but all I got to say is this. Congratulations, Taylor, for graduating with your doctorate on New York University. You highly deserve it. You are a hardworking woman. You are a talented woman, and also you are a very bright human being. You have worked so hard for so many years, and I feel like now is the time for you to shine even more and for you to give that good example to a lot of people, especially to a lot of your fans out there that are watching you, especially a lot of little girls out there that are watching you and that are looking up to you. And that, you know, if you could do it, then a lot of your fans could also do it, especially a lot of people in general could do it. So, congratulations, Taylor. It really makes me happy that Taylor Swift is really giving out that really good example that a lot of people need to see because unfortunately nowadays a lot of people are dropping off from college because apparently they can't afford college or because apparently they are just too busy with their work lives or with their family or whatnot. And Taylor is like, no, you have to keep on chasing your dreams no matter what. You can do it regardless of how long it takes to get that doctorates, that associates, or that bachelor's or whatnot. So, anywho, I am so happy and proud of Taylor. And also, another thing that I have to say is it's really funny that she got to graduate on the year of 2022, considering that she has a song called 22. It's like she on purposely chose this year to graduate or something. I don't know. But anywho, another thing that I have to say about this too is that the fact that Taylor Swift got to walk down that stage with that gown and that cap, I mean, it really made her, you know, look even more intelligent. It made her look even more gorgeous. I mean, she's already gorgeous and intelligent, don't get me wrong. But I mean, it made her even look more intelligent and even more gorgeous because in life, I mean, what's so beautiful is to see someone achieve so much in life, especially scholarly, and to also be able to give a good example, of course, and also to, be smart, and not be dumb and not give up, especially. So, anywho, congrats to Taylor. Congrats. And speaking of graduations, I'll be graduating this year from a Riverside City College, which I am so excited. I'll be graduating with an associate's degree in communications, and I'll also be graduating with an associate's degree in arts and in arts with arts, and I'll be graduating with another degree whew, in arts and communications and in, oh my god, I forgot the other degrees. It's like 4 degrees that I'm graduating with. But anywho, I'll be graduating with 4 degrees. And I am just so excited. And honestly, it took me a few years to do this, ladies and gentlemen, to be graduating from college. But I'll finally graduate this June. I'll finally graduate. And I mean, it really seems untrue to me that I'll be graduating, you guys, because I mean, never did I imagine that I was actually going to finish college because college has been very hard for me, and especially throughout the pandemic. And also, I mean, of course, I am so excited because I feel like I am taking a step further in life, and I'm going to be experiencing new things in life, especially because of the fact that I am closer and closer to now having my own talk show and to be working for Hollywood and God knows what. You know, I'll be definitely doing bigger things than the Jose show in the near future now that I am going to be graduating in June, and I'll definitely be waiting for what life has to offer. All right, so anywho, from this emotional topic that I'm talking about to now one more topic. All right, so now let's talk about Mayim Bialik. All right, so Mayim Bialik shares the challenges of hosting Jeopardy. All right, so Mayim Bialik is finding her Jeopardy groove, and apparently, as we all know, she is the replacement to the late um, what's the guy's name? Alex Trebek. There, I remember now. Alex Trebek. I'm sorry. Okay, so she is a replacement to Alex Trebek. And she was basically asked so many questions about her hosting gig and a lot of other things, you know. Well, anywho, Bialik got to say this. So I take it everywhere I go. I'm definitely becoming more comfortable. And that's what she said about her hosting gig. Now, Bialik, who has been hosting the game show since 2021, has finally found the trick to overcoming any challenges that come with the gig. Now, she got to say this. As I become the rhythm of the person talking in my ear, it becomes a little bit easier, she said, about delivering the questions. But you know, on any given day, it's a lot of words coming out of one mouth, and of course, it's edits and pickups and all those things. She added, but it's a lot of energy to expand because you want every contestant to feel as excited and special. And then Billy is also feeling comfortable as the star of Call Me Kat, which has been picked up by Fox for a third season. The actress who played the show's title role shared that there is so much possibility for the upcoming season when it finally goes into production. And then she says that she says, I mean, honestly, we left on a cliffhanger, and it's exciting because we really left it open in terms of like a lot can happen, and that she's very excited to be in a multi-cam show. So, anywho, there are a lot of other things going on with Mayim Bialik. It's not just with her hosting Jeopardy. So I am very happy for her, and I'm very proud of her to be doing other projects outside of Jeopardy, and for her to also be, you know, gaining more publicity and more fame, of course, because of course, the more you do more projects, the more you gain more publicity and more fame. And I'm also happy about the fact that Mayim Bialik was the one that was chosen to be hosting Jeopardy because she is a very intelligent woman and she has the personality to be hosting a game show, you know. And I mean, maybe she might not reach Alex Trebek levels. Let's be real here, because no one can replace Alex Trebek. No one can replace the king. He was an icon, and he is still remembered to this day, and he will forever be remembered. But Mayim Bialik is doing a phenomenal job, and Mayim Bialik definitely is doing a good job at impressing the audience and at making the audience proud. And she is definitely doing a really good job at just being herself and hosting a show like this, because when it comes to doing shows like this, not only should you really have the mentality and the knowledge to be hosting a game show like Jeopardy, but also you need to have the good personality. You need to be yourself when you're hosting a game show, because when you are interacting with people in these type of shows, and you are also, you know, getting friendly with these type of people as well, because these people are the ones that are, you know, playing in the game, and these are the people that are, of course, interacting a lot with the host, like a lot. So we have to remember that. So that's why I'm saying it's that very important to also be yourself when you're hosting a show like this. And also, last but not least, the fact that she is in literally one of the most popular shows in America, like Jeopardy. I mean, that just comes to show how huge Mayim Bialik has gone, how huge and how important she has gone, and how good she is, because not anyone gets chosen to be hosting a show like Jeopardy. Let's be real here. Not anyone does. So, anywho, congrats to Mayim Bialik on her gig with Jeopardy, and also congrats to Mayim Bialik on doing other projects outside of Jeopardy, like the show Call Me Cats. Alright, so anywho, that is it for today's show, and one last thing before I go. Now I remember what other degrees I'm graduating in. I'll be graduating in not just communications and not just in art, but also I'll be graduating in theater, and I'll be graduating in social and behavior studies. I just remembered. Sorry, you guys. I just got so excited that I completely forgot the other 2 degrees that I'm graduating in. But there you go. But anywho, I'm excited for this June, and I really am going to be sharing a lot of stuff on Instagram about my graduation. But anywho, that is like 3 weeks away, or 3.5 weeks away. So anywho, that is it for today's show, you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Jose Show, and I hope you guys stay tuned for more of the Jose Show, and also please make sure to follow me on social media. It is highly appreciated. Till next time, peace.